The semifinals in the winner bracket, ladies and gentlemen. TeamLiquid is going up against Fnatic. Fnatic just won with Murky being played in the last map against TCM, which was pretty cool. Once again, of course, like it's Fnatic is second ban here, which means that they have to make that choice if they want to ban Li Ming out or not. Curse Hollow is our map, so currently TeamLiquid, I mean, very likely to ban heroes like, for example, they could ban a Zagara, a False that is oftentimes being banned early, or a Thrall. Those are probably the three heroes that are currently being looked at the most. But with them watching the last couple of games, it seems like they are going for a target ban instead. We have seen TeamLiquid with a lot of Greymane play, but they don't seem to prioritize the hero as highly as Fnatic does. And with Quacknix jumping on Greymane at every opportunity that he gets, TeamLiquid is thinking about it. But it seems like they are going into a more standard ban here after all. Yeah, and it is that False stat. I mean, False said he is a beast on the map. We've been talking about that like over and over again. That Mighty Gust is just so strong here for the boss fights and also for the tributes. That fly-in is pretty cool. Keep in mind that TeamLiquid actually played in the early game here in the round of 8 in the last round of the quarterfinals. They played with an Abathur on the map. That's something that probably Fnatic saw as well. There's that Li Ming ban that we expected. We are currently in patch 6.1 and not 6.2. 6.2 is actually going to hit in a couple of hours, but that will change Li Ming a little bit so that it's more likely that we're going to see here in the draft. The only hero that is currently not allowed is Stitches because he has still that bug where his hook can cause lag in custom games. Not really a big surprise to like see that opening right now. Second ban team bans Li Ming at this point. As I said, new patch is going to hit soon. Then we're probably going to see a little bit of a different picture. And in the first pick team normally locks down Rhaegar. TeamLiquid is actually waiting very, very long. And personally, I really would like them to go away from Rhaegar because I'm very curious to see which hero they are so they are so uncertain about. Like, which hero do they currently think about when they say, hey, let's not take Rhaegar, let's take someone else? They pick Rhaegar, but I've been really curious right now which hero they would have taken. Would they have tried to lock down that Zagara, that Thrall that we oftentimes see them with? Fnatic is going straight into a Muradin pick here. So that already helps them, of course, with that, that they first of all have potential for Revelation build. Greymane, as we said already earlier, is going to be an immediate lockdown for them. Quacknix loves that hero, and this time they have the first double pick, so they don't even waste any time. They lock Greymane down. TeamLiquid doesn't have access to the hero anymore. And that was one of the reasons why TeamLiquid was actually thinking about banning Greymane out. But they said they'd rather deal with Greymane than they would deal with Falstad. And TeamLiquid with an immediate ETC that they are looking at this point. So they still have the opportunity to go for Jaina. Seen a lot of sorry guys, still a little bit sick. We have a lot of Jainas today. Jaina, of course, got buffed by Blizzard a bit, and Khaldor's got slightly nerfed on a few of his talents. So right now we have the potential for them to combo that ETC with Jaina, which I would really like, because I think if they don't pick Jaina now, Fnatic is probably going to try and take her together with that Muradin that they have, or ban her out. And well, besides Jaina, I mean, there's of course a couple of other heroes that you could still go for. Zagara is out there, Thrall is out there. Like, we have so many strong heroes. You really have to like piece that together a little bit. And Thrall would also be a good pick for them. I mean, they can use that Thrall, Sun Ring, try to combo the Mosh Pit off. But there's Jaina, as expected. So now, Fnatic, they first of all have to think about what they would like to play with. Do they want to play a Thrall? Do they want to play a Sonya? I could definitely see them with a ban on one of the two and try to pick the other one. So that would be one of the things that would work for them. But keep in mind that Tacita is also still open. So Tacita is still a very, very powerful and very popular pick in the European scene. And that is exactly why Fnatic is currently thinking about that Tacita ban right there. It would work perfectly well with TeamLiquid setup. And TeamLiquid has actually showcased a couple of times already that they really like to jump into like a Bruiser, like a Thrall, a Sonya, or even go into an Illidan. They did that several times. Lowell plays a fantastic Illidan. And now Khaldor is banned out first, with TeamLiquid locking down Jaina. So they are thinking about that Khaldor's ban now. That still leaves Thrall and also Sonya open, by the way. So both of these are still open here, and Abathur as well. TeamLiquid played Abathur on this map in particular, and they have Jaina. So it could be again an Abathur play here on their part. They used it earlier with a Tacita, this time with a Rhaegar. They could still use that. Double Jaina for the damage, Abathur for the split soak on the map. It depends a little bit on how Fnatic reacts right now. The Zagara is going to give them vision. She's a great hero on the map, and she would be really solid here as well. Can, of course, then also Maw, and against ETC, that can be good when he starts to try and go in for his Mosh Pit. First of all, in terms of heals, they can actually wait with their healer. Oh my god, what? Tupala Kino Ragoto. Dude, I'm really sorry, but I can't really go through with that. I kind of had it, I hope, but yeah.
Hey man, I was wondering if you could build me a desk. My cousin keeps jumping on mine and it's starting to fall apart.
Slap that cousin around. Like, dude, you're doing it wrong. You don't build a new desk. He's just going to jump on that too. You slap that kid around and show him how it's done. Karazim early taken. That's actually, like, interesting because, like, they could have waited with Karazim for their last pick. They didn't do that. I don't think that TeamLiquid is actually the one team that played Karazim with like more of a damage build in the past, so I suppose that there's a chance that TeamLiquid would have tried to pick it away, but I think it's a very slim chance. So Fnatic, I feel, could have waited a little bit longer with that Karazim pick and locked down Zagara. They could have locked down Zagara and Thrall right now. Instead, they decided to go for Karazim first. I mean, no matter what TeamLiquid picks now, either Sonya or Thrall are going to be open. I highly doubt that TeamLiquid is going to be willing to commit to both of them. I suppose they could, though. I mean, thinking about it, they actually could. Thrall and Sonya taken with this setup, that would work. If you want to play super aggressive at the front line, you can definitely make that play. But it's instead Illidan. As I said it, Lowell has an amazing Illidan and he wants to show us that. And they could still pick also that Abathur. We've seen it earlier. They played Abathur in their first game today. And with Abathur, yes, there we go. Abathur, Illidan, and Rhaegar. Old times, boys. Old times. Sonya as a counterpart. And we have Zagara, Karazim. I love TeamLiquid's build against this. It's looking really strong. The only thing where they have to be careful is that ETC. Mosh Pit would be amazing. But, of course, maybe with a different hero, they could have done even more here. But Mosh Pit is going to be great. They're going to get some extra heals out of that. They have very good heroes against this. Muradin is going to be great as a counter with his Reverberation build for the slow of the auto attacks, but we are going to see Illidan again. Lolo Illidan. Curse Hollow, guys. TeamLiquid vs Fnatic. It's all that we've been hoping for, at least when we look at the draft. Let's jump into game number 1 and see which team is going to take the lead. Game number 1 in the semifinals, the winner bracket semifinals at the end of the Storm Europe finals. And we have to the left side of the map now TeamLiquid. They're going up against Fnatic now. We have Lowell on Illidan, Chris on Jaina, Rhaegar being played by Get Amherst. You all know who's Blackheart's favorite healer, right? It's Rhaegar. And Yuvo on ETC, Shat on Abathur, and to the right side of the map, of course, we have Fnatic with Breeze on Muradin, Quacknix on Greymane, Aethero, Angel on Sonya, Smexy on Karazim, and Shrimpy on Zagara. Yeah, well, for now we have that Abathur play again. TeamLiquid already did that once before. Shat really likes the hero. And we will most likely once again see that symbiote start on level 13 and level 16 so that he gets the extra power off. We are seeing him on level 1 with the Envenomed Nests here. Of course, a bit of creep spread. That's actually like why everybody is moving with Shrimpy right now, so that Shrimpy can put the creep tumors down without being ganked. Oftentimes when you see like single Zagaras moving across the map, you will see her ganked early on when she's trying to put those creep tumors in place. There's a lot of teams, when they see a Zagara on the opposite side, they move straight into the middle of the map and wait for Zagara to appear to put those creep tumors down, and that's why she was currently accompanied by a couple of heroes before she started to take her position up at the top. Sonya going for the Shot of Fury here. Transcendence taken for Karazim. Reverberation build for Muradin. Pretty standard actually what we're seeing here so far. The Electric Charge making a whole lot of sense, of course, especially for Lowell, who's already starting to take a few of these creep tumors out. Especially after level 10, the setup is going to be very strong. Double Jaina does incredible damage here, of course, and that's one of the things that Fnatic is currently banking their hopes on. It's always a little bit of a liability at the beginning of the game when you're playing with an Abathur, because he does not have a buddy in the actual fight, so it's a bit tricky, and you need to be careful how you approach one of those tributes. But if Abathur can soak experience on the other side of the map, that's of course always awesome. Abathur can soak experience either with his symbiote head or with his body. He can also get a bit of experience if he kills a minion with a mine or if the Locust directly kills a mine, but Locusts themselves cannot get experience for you. So that's actually like a pretty common misconception that you oftentimes see in the lower ranks on Hero League or quick matches, that a lot of players think that their Locusts are automatically soaking XP. Abathur players that really know what they're doing will always be out on the map during objectives to make sure that they buddy soak experience while also helping out the team with the symbiote. So that's something that we're going to see from Shat as well. Currently he's taking the mid lane. In this position right now, we will see him occasionally jump on a minion here to soak experience when he's putting those down. From this position, he can't soak experience just yet, so he has to be careful with this. We're seeing level 4 talents now hitting a bit faster for Fnatic, who currently goes straight into the Reverberation build, continuing with the Thunderburn, which applies basically Reverberation for the second time with that second hit. So it's all about slowing the auto attacks down of Illidan. Very important here in the later fights. And also carries him with a protective shield right now. Gedam Herd at the bot lane, pressured very hard by Ethereal, and Stormcaller has now been taken with the first tribute on the map. So as long as Sonya is starting to move away from the bot lane, we're going to see Abathur take over, and Sonya is starting to move up to the top. So the whole job of TeamLiquid is not actually to capture this tribute. Their job is to delay it for as long as they can to give Abathur time to soak the lane. And he's going to move to the bottom lane soon. First of all, of course, this one has to be soaked as well. He's already active with his symbiote up at the top. Smexy is there. Now in level 4 we have also Snowstorm taken again. And we're seeing the prolific dispersal. Smexy channels it through. Abathur doesn't even have to move to the bot lane. Fnatic has taken that very early, so Shat no opportunity to actually soak. He needed to wait anyways until these waves are taken out. Then he would have been able to move down to the bottom of the map. But as is, they lost it a little bit too early, so he didn't actually move over there. If they had a bit more poke, then we would probably have seen TeamLiquid trying to just delay it for as long as they can to allow Abathur to soak the lanes, and that would have been great for them. But you could already see that TeamLiquid at no point really had any intentions of really fighting hardcore for that tribute. They can't. With Shat on Abathur early on, you have to let a couple of these tributes go. We can only poke a little bit. Twilight now at the bottom. Shat is the only one over here. Camps are now taken pretty early. I mean, Illidan already a beast when it comes to taking down mercenary camps. If Abathur helps out or someone else, if Rhaegar just drops a lightning shield, then you can of course get those done even faster. We're having level 7 drop a little bit earlier here on the side of Team Fnatic, and they have Shrimpy at the top lane, who can of course dish out incredible siege power now against these towers. So there is a bit of a lead for Fnatic already, which gives them the piercing bolt and also the entire cocktail build on Greymane. We have Zagara waiting with her level 7 talent, actually. Not making that choice yet. Endless Creep is an option. You could also go into the battle momentum here. Rapid Incubation, more so chosen by players like ADRD if you want to have super lane sustain. But so far, not taken yet. Again, Chris with the adjustment, going for the Ice Lance. Loves that talent. It's very nice poke from a distance that you get with it. And you can really, really slow a target down with that cooldown reduction. We have also Cleanse taken, and we see the Vile Nest here. And the attempt to go for one of these. If they get the tribute, it would be great, but Zagara is starting to move down to the bottom now as well. And that, of course, would make immediately sure that TeamLiquid doesn't get that tribute and have to give it up. Abathur is doing now exactly what I said. He's starting to move to the top lane and is getting experience here while helping the team out with the symbiote, or soaks the experience in the mid lane with the symbiote, as you could just see. So he's soaking 2 lanes, and now all that the TeamLiquid has to do is poke for as long as they can, but with 5 heroes around, of course, there is a wall that guards Smexy, and he gets the channel through. So Abathur needs to be careful at the top now. But already a boss move. Wow, 5 minutes in, and they go straight for the boss. Illidan isn't even there. Wow, those shields, the lightning shields helping, that's one of those moves where you could really use the double lightning shield, but either way, they go for the boss, and so far nobody is trying to claim that. Again, Abathur at the bot lane here, even baiting a little bit. Yeah, they're not double checking. Here comes Illidan moving in, and they're actually going to get Abathur taken down by Kharazim. Jumped in, apparently he didn't see that Kharazim was going through that wall, and now the boss is about to be taken. Wow, they actually get it. They take the boss and they go for Zagara. Shwimpy is super low and is going to fall now as well. So a kill for a kill in the end. An early level 10, by the way, thanks to the lanes that have been soaked. It's actually really interesting that that TeamLiquid currently did this. I think the whole idea was really for Abathur to try and at least soak the rest of the lanes with the symbiote and maybe even move position with his buddy, but him dying put a bit of a stop to that. So it's still level 10 versus level 9, but the boss can at least put pressure on Fnatic now, and they have to defend against the boss, which opens up the top now, where one tribute could be taken so that Fnatic does not, or so that Fnatic can't curse TeamLiquid. The problem is that level 10. We are going to see level 10 also pretty soon for TeamLiquid, but they just don't have it yet. And they're up against Palm, more go for the throat. Abathur really has to start and soak this as fast as he can. Illidan is trying to just buy a bit of time for his team. They need 2-3 more minions. That's all that they need, and they will have level 10. and there it is. So now they can fight. They need to take this tribute if they want to deny the opponent the chance to go for an early curse. Lowell already attacked here, but Abathur is with him. But that stun and rotation from Fnatic is too strong, and down goes Illidan. Illidan taken out, and of course that immediately results in the tribute taken, and this is Fnatic cursing TeamLiquid. Great play on their part. They're even waiting a little bit longer here. Getting in position again with Breeze at the bot lane. We're still seeing those two Siege Giants. Shat is trying to move away already. He knows that he's very much exposed at this point. But a great move from Fnatic. Fnatic is looking really strong here. They're playing a great game. I mean, they had to deal with that boss earlier, but they really capitalized on the fact that Abathur in the early game just has a couple of downsides. And that was extremely well done. They knew from the start that as long as they delay the tributes a bit, they will always be able to capture those up to the point where Abathur has ultimate evolution so that he can go for a copy. So they got all of them, and they had a great rotation against Illidan. But right now, that momentum could turn against them. Quacknix is already low, has to jump away. So much pressure on Greymane. The palm not triggered, by the way. Palm not triggered, and Illidan, he wants him. You can really tell he wants him. Lowell is going to try to go for it, but he has the stun. Lockdown against Maxi, though. Where is someone to dash to? Oh, it's too late. Quacknix was not in range. Kill against Sonya in the middle of the map now as well, and it's a double kill for TeamLiquid. That Illidan is starting to gain some momentum for his team, and now with the curse still active, they have of course to defend. They lost 2 key forts already. The fort at the bot lane, the one up at the top, have been eliminated, which is the main reason why we still see Fnatic in a lead in experience, but so far TeamLiquid is really starting to come back into this. Level 12 versus level 12. Shat again soaking the experience here up at the top. Illidan already taking another camp here. Boss at the top lane still being looked at. Nice creep spread here as well. It's a very important area around the potential tribute, and also boss. So good job by Zagara making sure that they have vision of everything that's happening here. It's the only boss that is active as well. Illidan, of course, is really one of the main heroes that is important for these team fights. The electric charge has to be on him, and then Lowell can go deep. The ancestral healing needs to be ready for him if he's bursted. And he puts so much pressure on Greymane that it's very difficult for Quacknix to make his plays. The root against Zagara here, there's an Abathur mine, and well, they already know that they have been detected. So there's going to be a move to the top to double check what's going on there. They see still 2 heroes over here. Breeze is there, and now with also Juve realizing what's happening, they're moving down. Oh, they try to go for Quacknix, and the palm activated. Palm hits in time. Here's the mosh pit against 5 heroes. One of them dying. The heal and the more as a counter. But great play. TeamLiquid with the early level 30 now as well. They get the kill. The 5-man mosh pit. Double Rhaegar actually in this case for the massive amount of heals. But we see them with a level 13 talent, the Earth Shield as well. There's the Soma transference that we've been talking about. Face smelt taken for the slows, the just keep rocking, and TeamLiquid is looking solid here now. 4 kills against 2, a great mosh pit that we saw. That put basically every single mosh pit that we saw from Breeze in the previous games to shame already. You with a great job here. And now we have the Unfettered Assault for Quacknix. We're seeing Thunderstrike, we're seeing Mystical Spear, and Relentless. I have to admit that I actually like Breeze on Muradin a lot more than I like him on ETC. Then again, to be fair, the ETC combos that they played earlier were in a much more trickier spot, I would say. So Muradin for him, even though he loves ETC, his Diablo is of course absolutely legendary, but I like him on Muradin quite a bit. At this time though, we have Relentless now taken, the Mutila's 2, the Mystical Spear as I said, the Unfettered Assault, and it's actually interesting to see that Quacknix even changed his build here, because in the games before he always went for On the Prowl on level 13, but in this case now he went also for the Unfettered Assault instead, which has started to become the more standard talent, like that most of the players go for. Elite again in experience, get head isolated, and the dog is down, kicking the dog when he's down. Shat with a copy was actually a smart idea. Shat was trying to go for a copy on Rhaegar so that he could heal the real Rhaegar, but now it only means that they lost the copy and they lose Rhaegar himself. So that puts them in a really bad spot and will result in immediate boss being taken. There's only 3 heroes on the map. Abathur can only help out with the symbiote, so that's not really going to help. That should be bossed for Fnatic if they don't screw it up here. But yeah, Juve does not. He has the mosh pit. He actually has the mosh pit. Mosh pit is ready. I don't think they're going to commit to this. Nah. He's threatening it a little bit, but yeah, Fnatic knows that they are just like posturing around. it's too much. It's 5 against 3 when you talk buddies. Abathur, of course, he already had to copy down, so they couldn't really do anything about that. For now, though, we have the bot lane being pressured hard. Fnatic, they're definitely not giving up here, and for good reason. I mean, they're looking strong with a push at the bot lane right now. It was a good kill against Rhaegar that they picked off in the middle of the map. But we have now Illidan, of course, back to business here at the bot lane. Abathur doing Abathur things, soaking experience up at the top, just like doing this the entire time with his body out. He knows that everybody is down at the bottom of the map, so there's no threat for him. There's no faucet around that can simply fly to the top, so he can just move in the middle of the lane, right where he's visible, because it doesn't matter. Once again, ETC with the mosh pit, this time interrupted. The Maw is already there, and they go straight for the attempt again to take one down, especially, of course, here. Nice, Illidan jumping in, gets healed by the Ancestral Healing, and they go for Zero. The palm is triggered, Shrimpy is down, Shad with a Rhaegar copy, taking him apart. Juve going in again, and Illidan finishes off Sonya. Take that, Eminem. Here comes once again Illidan. Breeze, on the other hand, moving away. Chris is trying to go for an Icelands. Nah, it doesn't hit it, but Juve might actually. Now he's also getting dropped off his mount. But we have another tribute now for TeamLiquid. Level 16 talents, also pretty important at this point, of course. Once again, we have Northern Exposure taken over the Numbing Blast. We're seeing the Rising Storm, which is going to be great for Illidan. It's going to be amazing for him. And Illidan with Stone Skin, not going for blood. Stone Skin it is instead. And ETC could still go for the Imposing Presence here. Speed Metal oftentimes taken, but Imposing Presence, if you are being attacked, of course, giving you a little bit more sustain here. And it is indeed Imposing Presence that he goes for. Same talent, by the way, that we see for Sonya, who did not go for the Nerves of Steel. We're seeing now also the Concentrated Blast completing the cocktail build. Abathur has moved back, was very far out. As an Abathur player, it's incredibly important that you have very good vision on the minimap. You need to have great minimap awareness, or you are going to fall victim to someone just sneaking up on you and taking you down. Stone Form taken here also again. And also a bit of a glimpse on the damage output here so far. In hero damage, Abathur is looking very solid right now. We're having 18,000 also on Jaina, but of course once again 20k here on 22 on Zagara, Sonya, and also Greymane. So yeah, nice distribution. Greymane, by the way, when it comes to like hero siege damage, 112,000. Totally crazy. Next tribute on the map. Both of the teams are currently in possession of one of them. Camp taken here again. And it looks like Fnatic is trying to go for boss instead, but there's mines everywhere. Breeze is moving right into them. Yeah, they can't really go for it without TeamLiquid knowing what's up. Juve is zoning. Face Melt would of course help here, but there comes the interrupt. Well done. And Lowell has of course to be careful a little bit with the rest of the team not being ready yet, since they had to go into the mid lane. Nice move here with the Lightning Shield, that helps. But Smexy is channeling, and they get it. Smexy with the channel, job well done. Juve needs the heal, and the Ancestral Healing is ready in time. So great job here by Gerd, making sure that ETC would not fall. In the mid lane now, the camp has to be pushed away. It's 2 tributes against 1 at this point. Pretty even in talents, but we still have the experience lead for TeamLiquid, which is of course going to give them a very nice position heading for the next move. Top lane, Abathur is pushing a little bit as well, helped by, of course, now those 2 Siege Giants. Again, the Symbiote in place. And that's really annoying right now also for Fnatic, because they are always in a position, if they like, look at how Smexy or Quacknix is once again slowed down. There's like Abathur mines everywhere. It's like one of the most annoying things if you have an Abathur that goes especially for that level 2 talent with a prolific dispersal and has like mines everywhere on the map. And with the way that Shad is moving always out onto the map, he can just put them into position everywhere he needs. So this is really cool for him. ETC threatening the mosh pit. Once again, teams are ready for the tribute. Greymane is not with them yet, and Chris is trying to go for the channel. Nice Storm Ball by Breeze, locking it down. Greymane is coming in now, but already the mines doing their job, and Smexy has to heal him up. So for now, actually like a bit of a retreat call. Gerd is trying to zone. Abathur is now also in a position where he can soak at the middle. Keep is gone at this point. And once again, they're starting to move in. Juve is already there. Is he going for the mosh pit? And he tries. There's the Maw as a counter, hitting 2. Nice move by Smexy, dashing away from that Blizzard that would have taken him out. But here comes the Ancestral Healing for ETC, and Illidan is in the middle of things once again. That Lightning Shield is helping out with the damage, and he can jump in just once more. Here's the burst against Sonya. Cone of Cold hitting hard. Smexy saving himself with a palm, but not for long. He's about to fall now as well. A double kill again for TeamLiquid. And Juve with Abathur goes for Shrimpy. Down goes Zagara. Breeze is so low, he cannot contest against this boss attack that we are seeing from Team Liquid right now. They are doing great here. 19 versus 17. That keep that has fallen at the bot lane, of course, that's a concern, no doubt about that. But at the same time, they are still looking very strong here. Breeze is very much alone together with Quackmix. They can't do too much here. They're trying to poke a little bit, but they're retreating in time. The boss is going to go through the fort at the top lane for sure, and Fnatic is now starting to fall farther and farther behind in experience, which is going to eventually result in a level 20 for Team Liquid, whereas Fnatic will not have access to that talent. The damage output, especially like in siege damage, again, absolutely crazy for Greymane here. That cocktail build is doing so much work, and Team Liquid is going now from one boss to another. The mines everywhere. Of course, for Abathar it was very clear that they would try to go for the bottom boss. So once that they started with the top boss, Abathar moved to the bottom, started to put the mines everywhere, so that no matter where Fnatic engages from, they're going to run into this. I can't really stress enough how important that is. Shad is an exceptional Abathar player, and he is always doing his job in this case. So even if Fnatic decided to contest, which would have been very, very risky, the mines would have slowed them down and also, of course, informed what's happening and would put them in a really bad spot. This is the curse against Fnatic now. Team Liquid with a demonic form, but the burst against Juve. He blinks away with the Bolt of the Storm. Great play here. And gets healed. And now, of course, we're seeing the bot lane pressured again. Curse plus boss, it's the nightmare of any Heroes of the Storm team. This boss is going to do so much damage, and they know it. And over here, the fight is about to start again. And of course, it's another camp that is being taken right now. With a hive mind that we see on Abathar, he can do so much now once that ETC and Illidan are committing to the fight. The boss is starting to move in at the bot, and with Fnatic defending, that means that the mid lane is completely exposed, where the creepers are already doing their job. The same is happening up at the top. We're seeing a keep attacked as well. Down here, on the other hand, that's really where the music plays. This is where Team Liquid is making their stance. Fnatic with a more attempt. ETC was going for an attempt on Moshpit. Quacknix has to get palmed and gets, but not triggered. And Shad on the copy, still going deep, but Quacknix survives. Oh, Sonya, she dies, and Lol is once again on their hunt. Moving in with his Illidan. Lol, a monster on the hero, especially with that Abathar support that he currently gets. And Shad is doing what he can on the symbiote. They're jumping in again. The mosh pit, oh my god, hitting two, and they kill all of them. Great play by Team Liquid. They are finishing the game. They take the lead against Fnatic right now. Team Liquid with absolutely exceptional play here. Fnatic also with a good match. But Team Liquid just a bit stronger here on map number 1 on Cursed Hollow. So we're going to jump straight into game number 2 to see who is going to take the series. Game number 2, everybody. Dragonshire is the map. Team Liquid versus Fnatic here at the winner bracket semifinal. Now, of course, we already have Na'Vi in the winner bracket final. So whoever team wins here is going up against Na'Vi next. The loser is going to drop into the losers bracket. Team Liquid probably going to be heading into a ban on Li Ming again. And yeah, exactly, that is going on here. So we are still in patch 16.2, as I mentioned a bit earlier, where the nerfs on Li Ming have not hit yet. Fnatic currently with a ban on Thrall, so taking him already out. And it's very likely that we're going to see an early Rhaegar pick then for Fnatic, which we've seen already a lot today. Double Rhaegar, by the way, in the last game was pretty funny. Abathar normally going for Jaina, and occasionally he actually like cloned Jaina as well. But having that double Rhaegar for the heal and a double lightning shield was actually quite interesting. Rhaegar locked down, Fnatic going for the hero, and Team Liquid, they have now a couple of opportunities. Zagara is a hero that we talk about a lot. On this map, she's probably the strongest from all the maps that we've been talking about. We see a lot of Jaina early on, but when we're talking about like the early picks, we have seen focus on Tassadar, we've seen a couple of focus on also a few of like the damage dealers like Jaina in particular, but Zagara is definitely one of the best choices for Dragonshire. Usually try to get some wave clear so that you can pressure the lane and then get an easy access to that shrine by just like pushing the vision back of your opponent, and Zagara can do that quite nicely, especially at the top lane. So normally on this map she is locked down very early. Team Liquid on the other hand, they attempt first of all to take Greymane away from Fnatic. So they know that Fnatic would take Greymane in the next pick phase. Fnatic always does that. They love to play with the hero, and Quacknix is incredibly strong on him. So they pick Greymane away. That could influence things right now. That could actually lead to them not picking Zagara. And they start to go into a false set instead, which is also, for obvious reasons, very strong on the map. You can go from lane to lane. You can just like fly into any kind of fight over a shrine and help out your ally. leaves Zagara open. So Greymane really having a big influence right now on the draft, especially with teams like Fnatic. There's a couple of teams out there that just don't like to play Greymane, but we have seen Greymane a lot for Na'Vi. We've seen them nearly exclusively from Fnatic, and with that particular start into the draft, Fnatic is now the one who have the opportunity to go Zagara. Muradin for Breeze would be great. I said before, I really like him on Muradin. So they play that again. Muradin already chosen. Together with Rhaegar, it's of course quite nice if you have that Lightning Shield on Muradin too. And Muradin, I would like that Jaina. Jaina or Zagara would really be good. Kel'Thas is a cool hero, but I feel like with the Muradin, when you have that Storm Bolt and you get the full value out of the double Blizzard Wave, that is absolutely awesome. And there you get the most damage in. And yeah, they go for the Jaina over the Kel'Thas. And I really like that choice here from them. So that is pretty cool. TeamLiquid with a ban, and well, right now they have to really think about if they want to pick Sonya. If not, then banning her out would probably not be a bad idea. We oftentimes see that when Thrall is already banned, that you are trying to counter ban against the opponent too. TeamLiquid, they still need a frontline on the other hand, so they need support, they need a frontline. We could see them again, I guess, within a Illidan, but we already have Rhaegar taken away, so it's a bit less likely. It's the ban on Murky. They of course saw the games that Fnatic played earlier with Murky on Sky Temple, where Fnatic was like trying to dodge team fights the entire time, and they are afraid that something like that is going to happen again. It's actually an interesting ban since Fnatic relied a lot on Zagara in that setup. But I suppose that right now there's also like a lot of scrim knowledge that goes into the draft here, and that this is starting to become a bit of a target ban against Fnatic. I mean, I really think that the Murky on Sky Temple, that's not the only map where they played the hero. So these teams definitely fought each other a couple of times already in scrims and practice. So therefore, Murky as more of a target ban against Fnatic. This is not a troll ban, guys. If you just like tuned in, if this is like the only video that you watched, Fnatic played Murky earlier and they won with Murky. They dodged fights and just went for a split push strategy with Zagara and Murky, and apparently they have a couple of Murky strategies locked down. So Fnatic, on the other hand, they are thinking about a ban on Tassadar, and that would make it a lot more difficult for TeamLiquid to go into one of their melee assassin plays. But ETC is also one of the bans that they think about, which would for TeamLiquid probably result in a Johanna, I want to say. Zagara still not picked. It's really funny to see how Zagara just like jumps up and down in priority for the teams. Just a week ago, she was like a ban even. Right now, Tassadar, ETC, they ban ETC. They limit the pool of frontliners instead. So TeamLiquid can now still play with a double frontline if they really want to. They could go into that Johanna, who can also like serve as a solo. There is Sonya around. Something like Johanna plus Sonya could work. They can combo Sonya even off with another frontliner if they really want to. So Leoric, for example, can be taken on this map as well. We have Zagara open, Leoric is open, Sonya is still open. In terms of healers, they don't really have to make that choice just yet. Charism is likely for them to be taken. It's very unlikely that Fnatic is going to take it. So if TeamLiquid feels confident enough that they can like go for the draft, they can leave the healer open, or they take now Charism and then decide on the last pick how they want to adjust to what TeamLiquid does next. So that would leave them a little bit more flexible in the draft itself. Tassadar is taken, first of all, okay. For a second, talking about Charism, I still assumed that Fnatic banned out Tassadar. My bad, sorry. So of course with Tassadar still open, they have now a few more options than that. But if not for that, if Tassadar would have been banned, then Charism would have been the pick, yeah. That swap around by Fnatic between ETC and Tassadar confused me there for a moment. But there's that Johanna that we've been mentioning, so most likely going to be a solo frontline. Well, maybe with Sonya. Sonya would be great. Like, there's a cool thing again is Johanna has Laws of Hope and Sonya has Ferocious Healing, so it makes Tassadar's life a bit easier. We have Fnatic with Zagara late in the draft, but still, at least they're thinking about her. I mean, more into Blizzard, of course, is great. Oh, they pick Sonya away. Ha! Sonya Muradin is awesome, and Sonya with the Lightning Shield works so well. It's one of the reasons why I actually thought TeamLiquid might ban out Sonya if they don't plan on taking her themselves, but they decided to go into a ban on Murky instead. So now Fnatic takes the option that they have, and they go for Zagara still. That's actually a very solid setup that they have here. They have good burst damage with Sonya and Jaina on a target that is maybe stunned by Muradin after a Maw or whatnot, and they have Rhaegar for the Lightning Shield. This is a very scary draft that Fnatic has right now. It's a very solid one. TeamLiquid has a lot of damage potential on their part as well. Question is, do they try to play a second support here? The problem is, like, who would you choose? Brightwing, I don't really feel is going to serve any purpose here. I mean, yes, you can lock Sonya down a little bit with a Polymorph, but I don't think it's enough. Going into a Tyrande, I don't see it. Chen, I would like that, since Zagara is very strong at the top lane, and Chen would bully her. I actually like that Chen pick a lot. I really feel like with Chen they have the front line that they really need, and they can create the space that you really need. Can go into the Wandering Keck here if they don't feel the pressure to go into Storm, Earth and Fire. We've seen Keck a couple of times now in competitive too, and I would really like that. It's also like a hero that is not as reliant on Tacita as anyone else, so Tacita as a solo support works here. I don't feel like a double support composition would have really helped them. If you go into double support, then the hero that would have made the most sense, I guess, is either going into that melee assassin style Karazhan that TeamLiquid likes to play and go for Iron Fist over Transcendence, so that you have a bit of damage output and pressure against heroes, or into the Tyrande, but the Tyrande has nothing really to combo off. Making Condemn into that work is not really great. Blessed Shield as an initiator for her stun is also not too amazing. So Chen works a little bit better as a double support, I feel. And if the backline is safe, they have amazing damage with Greymane and Falstad as well. So game number 2, Fnatic with a super scary draft, TeamLiquid with a solid 1-2. Let's jump in onto Dragonshire and find out which team is going to decide the map in his favor. Dragonshire is the second map in the series, and we have now TeamLiquid in the lead against Fnatic here at the winner bracket semifinal of the Enter the Storm finals. To the left side of the map, Lowell on Chen, we are seeing Chris on Greymane, Shat on Falstad, Get Amherd on Tacita, and we have Juve on Johanna. It's pretty cool to see Chet a little bit more often now in play. We had him last week as well. Now to the right side of the map, Fnatic with Breeze again on Muradin, Smexy on Rega. We have a Thero Angel on Zagara, Quacknix on Sonya, and Schwimpy on Jaina. A very, very burst comp heavy setup that we are seeing for especially Fnatic here, with the Stormbull on Muradin, a follow-up with Jaina and Sonya for the damage. This is a very, very scary setup. Of course, one of the heroes that is going to try and screw, especially with Zagara, is going to be Chen. I know what you're thinking, it's going to be very ugly babies. But that being said, Chen is one of those lane bullies that can really force her back. Grounding Brew has been taken, so ability damage, that's one of the issues that Chen has currently. Not going into the Regeneration Master, which is oftentimes the standard talent to take, but against that Sonya and also, of course, in particular that Jaina, making sure that that is going to work. It's actually like a pretty cool choice. We see that a little bit more often these days now as well. Up at the top lane, Lowell with the Master, with actually not the Master skin, but the War Master Chen skin. Great skin, by the way. I'm rocking the same skin on my personal Chen, and it is great. Chen, I personally just need 4 more games, and then I'm finally level 10 on him. I've been a little bit lazy on Chen, I have to confess. I have to admit that. But still, currently, in terms of talents on level 1, the Electric Charge taken. We're seeing once again Falstad going for the auto-attack build. Knight takes pawn for Sonya. Zagara realizing that at the top lane, where we usually see her solo, that she can't do anything against Chen, that he's going to be too much work to deal with, and therefore she's now down to the bot lane. Rotation is happening between the lanes now from the teams. And coordination is, of course, everything on this map. The Shot of Fury once, of course, taken again for Quacknix as the level 1 talent here for his hero. And we're seeing the Elixir taken, or not the Elixir just yet, that's going to happen level 7, but again the Cocktail build with a perfect aim on level 1 here for Chris on his Greymane for the Worgen. And well, for now, it's going to be pretty cool to see how the teams are going to adjust here. In the last game, Fnatic had a very strong early game against the Abathur composition that TeamLiquid played, but now, of course, they have to prove themselves against 5 buddies on the map from the get-go. The first few shrines are already announced, and that allows now Lowell and Quacknix to fight over this one up at the top. Rotations are everything on this map in this setup, and especially the vision on Zagara is going to help Fnatic to set their traps. So we see currently to the bot lane the desperate attempt of a Thero to go for creep tumors, but Chris and Gad are making sure that there's only one creep tumor in the game, and that's it. Already, Shen going for the Swift Reflexes here as the level 4 talent. That's going to help them, of course. The auto attacks there. Here comes also, that's actually what we've been talking about a bit earlier. If you go into a Tacita as a solo support, you try to make sure that you have a bit of sustain on the rest of your setup. And this is also one of the reasons why we're currently seeing the Laws of Hope against for Johanna. It's of course also a standard talent for the hero. Oh, the attempt to sneak in a Dragonite, but Juve is already there, and Breeze realizes that he won't be able to make that happen in time. At the top lane, Chen is doing his thing. Chen riding that goblin, that money goblin there. At the bottom of the map, we are also now seeing Get going for the shrine, and that suddenly puts pressure into the mid lane for Fnatic, where we see Schwimpy and Breeze on Jaina, and also Muradin attempting to deny that for as long as they can. Shat and Juve are ready to fight them, though. Falstad flying down, they're trying to go maybe for a kill. But yeah, Falstad is a little bit too bad. He gets still in the damage against the Thero. He's starting to get a bit lower. Top lane pressure now by Lowell. Yeah, he's up against Breeze and against Quacknix. Once again, like chugging that brew and making sure that Chen is actually, from the mechanics here, is a pretty cool hero. I mean, overall, when you think about like his trade as well, it's absolutely cool what Blizzard does with heroes like that. Feels very unique and very nice. The teams are aiming for level 7 right now, and so far they're doing actually a very solid job with preventing the Dragon Knight. I mean, Dragon Knights are going to become, of course, more dangerous over time, and it's also like once that you die in the later stage of the game and your death timers are a little bit longer, that's really the opportunity where you can go for a Dragon Knight. In the early game, it usually doesn't really happen unless one of the teams has a very dominant early game draft, and in this game, it is not really the case. Both of the teams have a lot of damage potential here and also sustain, especially the double frontline, of course, that we see for TeamLiquid is going to be very difficult to take down. And Juve and Gedam here, they are doing their thing. The rotation between mid and bot lane is happening all the time. Lowell is having his fun up at the top. And rapid incubation actually taken for Zagara. Kind of makes sense if you think about it. Right now they have already damage output on Jaina and Sonya, so Zagara can go into lit bot lane sustain. But look at that bot lane. I really want to highlight that again. Chris, with that cocktail, is taking down every single creep tumor. Athero must be so pissed. He's losing every single tumor that he places down. There's 0 creep spread on the map now, and Smexy is being attacked. Oh, but Tassadar in the mid lane has fallen in the meantime. Tassadar down, and also the first blood now. Breeze and Shrimpy securing the kill, and now the rotation to the top lane, where Juve is apparently trying to make sure to get up with low. That Quacknix is not going to get the second one, because they know, of course, that there's no extra pressure against them, since one hero is dead for a few seconds. We're seeing the Brewmaster's balance taken. We have now in the mid lane again the attempt to go for the Dragon Knight. Juve with a shield glare. Shat flies in. They try to go for Shrimpy. They get the damage in. And Jaina, she's dead. Falstad, on the other hand, is also very heavily pressured. Nice move here. Flying away towards Gedam here, making sure that he gets that shield in. Happens way too often if you play uncoordinated games that actually a hero that is in danger runs away from the healer, and then that healing beam from Morales, that shield or that heal from Rhaegar, Tassadar is not hitting in time. In this case, good coordination between them, making sure that there was no additional Stormball follow-up to drop Falstad. Falstad, of course, flying back onto lane. Up at the top now we have that fight again between Lowell and Quacknix, fighting over this one. We have level 7 talents now with also the double Storm Bolt. And Juve in the mid lane, very much alone against Breeze and Shrimpy. So a double protection against this. Quacknix, yep, Lowell is there. Like, Chen overall is already very annoying in the early game, but really the talent that puts him over the top, where the hero is suddenly starting to become a massive nuisance in team fights, is level 16. When you get your pressure point, you can really do so much. Ooh, Tassadar really close there. Now you can do so much by locking targets down, especially if Condemn is also part of the equation. Shrimpy down. Great play, great coordination on the side of TeamLiquid. In the mid lane, Lowell is already there. Breeze is the only one trying to help out, and now suddenly he's outmatched. There are just too many heroes who are trying to go for him. Mighty Gust attempt. Good attempt, not really necessary. Didn't really hit either, but they now go for the first Dragon Knight. And we have also the Wandering Kek taken, so it's time to Kek. Kek is a great and fun talent. And of course, the idea is oftentimes, well, you can use it for a couple of reasons, of course. And you can like hack an opponent away from the dragon statue, away from a shrine, or you can just simply like jump with a flying kick behind them and hack them into the team. That would be great against Jaina in particular, of course, when you can, if you can make that happen. And also for Rhaegar, for example, no matter who you can burst down, if that's what you're looking for, it is definitely great. Once again here, we have already Quacknix moving from the top, actually zoned out by Tassadar. Get with a nice job. Shad still doing pressure here at the bot lane, but of course losing that Dragon Knight there eventually. 7-minute Dragon Knight, not really all too powerful just yet, but they were able to secure themselves a nice leading experience. And there's the Kek trying to go for Quacknix, pushing him into the towers, and now they can try and lock him down, but they did not really secure that properly. Now Quacknix is trapped though. Condemn is hitting him hard. Good kill here. Mighty Gust even used to just like push the reinforcements back, and they are again in a 5 versus 4. Nice move. Shrimpy also dead. Lowell here, super annoying with his Chen jumping in, taking them down, and as I mentioned, it's just going to be all uphill from there, at least for Chen. Once he hits that pressure point talent on 16, he can really start chasing heroes. If you have that lockdown on every flying kick, it's absolutely amazing. Against a hero like Jaina or Zagara, they are going to be in so much trouble that nobody peels for him. That ancestral healing has to be really spot on Rhaegar if he wants to make that play. 5 kills against 1, and currently TeamLiquid are really showing their strength. This game is, of course, far from being over, but now camp also taken and starts to make its way up to the top lane. We're seeing camps also claim to the right side of the map, where Fnatic's now trying to put some extra pressure onto the lanes by claiming the mercenary camp. Athero finally with a little bit of creep pressure down to the bottom of the map, but the vision is really minimum. So far, Chris and Gad have been doing a very, very good job taking these creep tumors down, and they are most likely going to do exactly that again. Already we have the preload on the shields. Gad is doing a very solid job with that, making sure that Tacita is getting the shield heals in. Unfettered Assault on level 13 again. Johanna even going for now also the Burning Rage. Great counter, of course, against the creep tumors. Oh, and they dive deep for Athero. Nice maw. And Gad, well, was not the best the best ball there, but they are going to get the kill against Athero eventually. So Zagara down. Great commitment here at the bottom of the map. Chen up at the top is currently dealing with Quacknix and Breeze. Doesn't really have a problem there. Only soaking experience. Shrines are going to be active in a moment once again, but of course it's the pressure at the bot lane is really the biggest concern of Fnatic right now. They're going to lose the fort here at the top. They're trying to make some plays, but Lowell gets away. Doesn't really have a big problem here with the escape. He's not going to be able to hold the wall, that's for sure. But the threat against the keep, maybe even at the bot lane, is going to be a big one. It's going to force Fnatic back. The Siege Giants are going to do their job. Shad is lingering around, trying to take it down, tower down. Already at the top lane, Quacknix again isolated. 13 talents on both sides now. Breeze is moving in, trying to help him out. Shrimpy is there too. Lowell will have to move back and needs to go for the panic button. Is going straight for the Kek. Kek's a couple of mercenaries around, but is able to save himself. And that was, of course, like the biggest or the most important part of the exercise here. That allows Athero to go to the bot lane and take now also control of a shrine. But already an exchange happening with the top lane claimed by Chris himself. In the mid lane, again, both of the teams are centering around the Dragonite, but again, level 16. It's a talent that they're really waiting for. With the 16 talent after Chen now went for Relentless, with Grounding Brew, with Relentless, and then maybe even, as I said, going for that 60 talent to lock them down with a pressure point. That would, of course, be exactly what they're looking for. For now, Gad is still zoning that out a little bit. I mean, 12-second cooldown on that wall, you can just like spam that out. They try to go for the experience, and they are roughly 2.5 levels ahead, and there's that level 16. And Chen immediately with a pressure point. There it is. Concentrated Blast, Dimensional Warp has now been used as well. And, of course, more for Johanna. Oh, there's actually, once again, Lowell could go straight for Kek here as well if he needs to get out of this. His cooldown is on 1 second right now, but there comes the Ice Block. 3 heroes isolated. Schwimpy down, the misclick on Breeze with the Ancestral Healing. Smexy maybe falling, and there's the pressure point that we've been talking about. It's such an annoying talent. The double kill. Now it's time for Johanna to die too, but Lowell hits the brew again, and they can go for another pressure point jump. Breeze, does he have the cooldown ready? Yes, he does. Can jump away for now. Lowell doesn't want to follow him this deep, but they get a double kill, and they might get the Dragonite again. The bot lane pushed in very heavily, and that is actually like a big problem. With the bot lane pushed in this far, this one can be taken quite easily. Shad takes position, can use the Mighty Gust if he wants to now. If he has to, flies away, and they can aim for the Dragonite. But they actually go for the kill here. Again, the pressure point. Lowell is going to have that cooldown ready in a moment. He hits the brew for a couple of seconds so that he can jump in again. But they push everybody back, and that opens up the mid lane for the taking. The Dragonite already being attacked. Shad is there. Can go now for his Mighty Gust. He has everything ready. Doesn't have to. They actually can choose the hero to go into the Dragonite, and they take it. Great play again by Team Liquid. In terms of damage output, I mean, look at Chen here with the hero damage. 28,000, and also really solid when it comes to Siege. We're seeing Sonya with the Siege damage top for the red team. And we're seeing Fnatic with 27,000 on Zagara. Jaina not really able to really put the numbers in just yet. She died 4 times in this game already. A lot of pressure on her. One of the main reasons that we saw, of course, also the Ice Block here. But still, great coordination in those team fights for Team Liquid, and it really, really shows. It's Dragonite number 2 for them, actually. And they start to move through the middle. Johanna, by the way, went for the Imposing Presence on level 1. Doesn't really want to deal with the auto attacks of Sonya, and in particular also, of course, Zagara. But here comes now that level advantage. Here comes that talent advantage, that Dragonite. And Team Liquid is currently dominating. They won't be able to take a keep down, but they're still in a situation where they can, with the Dragonite, get that experience lead, increase it even more, maybe drop a couple of structures up at the top, where Lowell is already busy draining the ammunition of the keep, of the fort, and so that's going to help them quite significantly. Level 16 talents, soon enough though. Breeze is actually trying to follow Shad. Falls that, flies away, the Stormbolt hits a bit too late, But it's a very aggressive stance that Breeze took there in that fight, trying to move in for that Storm Bolt. We have now the Nerves of Steel taken. Once again, Lightning Shield talent on level 16, going straight for the Rising Storm. Stone Form, Brute Expansion, and in this case, Numbing Blast for Jaina has been chosen over Northern Exposure. The bot lane is in another pressure play, thanks to the camp that has been claimed right now. And this is, of course, again a 2-level lead with the level 16 talents for both of them. This is the time to fight. This is really where Fnatic has to make some plays now. They can't wait for level 20. They have to make their play now or they are going to lose keeps. They know that perfectly well. If they wait too long right now, they are going to start losing keeps once that Fnatic hits level 20. And with a 2-level lead, that's a huge time window that Fnatic has. And Fnatic is moving in. Nice Mighty Gust right into, oh my god, that blow away. And now the kill against Jaina. Any moment now. Falstad is in a bit of trouble, but guess who's there? It's Chris on the walk, and the wolf is hungry. Chris is jumping in again with the Unfettered Assault, just moving forward, going through Zagara, going through Jaina. They get the double kill. Lowell kind of missing that. He was trying to keck somebody in. That didn't really work out for them. Falstad already going very deep. Good heals there once again. And Chris actually getting very low. Breeze is trying to follow it up, but now he's getting locked down as well, thanks to the hammer time on Falstad. Breeze is super low, and what a force wall once again. They kill a potential double kill. Lowell with the pressure point. Yes, he has enough. Needs to hit the keck now though, but they go for Quacknix first. Quacknix down, and now it's time for Smexy to die. He can't escape. Not from Chen. Not gonna happen. Yep, this is more or less a team wipe. Well, at this point, Zagara and Jaina are already back again, but still 5 hero died in that encounter. 13 kills against 2. Massive damage output. 20 any second now, but look at that damage on the Worgen. 41,000 here for Greymane. There's the 20s that we've been talking about. We have again the blunderbuss taken here. Hunter's blunderbuss. Schwimpy dead again. That pressure point locking everybody in place. Nexus Frenzy for Falstad, who's at this point even on 40 extra damage thanks to the Season Marksman. Amazing game by Fnatic and by TeamLiquid. TeamLiquid the one who really take the series with a 2-0. Fnatic had great games here today, but against TeamLiquid, they just can't take it. TL with a 2-0 victory right now, and they advance to meet Na'Vi in the winner bracket final.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG and the end of another series here on KhaldorTV with Heroes of the Storm. So once again, we have another video finished, and I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and that you liked the game, of course, as well. It was a pleasure casting the match for you. And if you guys really enjoyed it, then make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do that too. If you have friends that are interested in Heroes of the Sports esports scene, then definitely recommend the channel to them or just show them the video if they want to see like a bit how the pros are drafting here, especially of course when it comes to the North American scene, European scene. And I mean, these days we even have a couple of Chinese games on the channel here, so I hope that you enjoy that as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching again. I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye bye.